welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, September 26, 2019. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. There are 190 children in state protective care here in SVG who have either been abused or neglected. This information was revealed by Minister of National Mobilization, Gender Affairs and the Youth, Frederick Stevenson, at a media conference yesterday. Minister Stevenson said that recent data collected by the Child Development Division indicated some 300 reports of various forms of child abuse.
According to the data collected by the Child Development Division, in 2019, the department received approximately 300 reports of children being abused or neglected. Approximately 34% of the reports were classified as victims of child neglect, 30% as victims of physical abuse, 23% as victims of sexual abuse, and 10% as victims of psychological abuse.
Minister Stevenson said awareness programs with the help of international agencies have been rolled out in various sectors, including schools and law enforcement agencies, with the expectation that persons involved in these programs will be in a better position to deal with reports of child abuse, which is becoming a sore issue in the country.
A total of 180 law enforcement officers, included gazetted officers, non-commissioned officers, police constables, officers from CID Criminal Investigation Department, Outstation and Sexual Offences Unit, the DARE program officers, and other police officers who work directly with children attended a one-day training during the period the 5th to the 9th of August 2019.
The awareness programs have also been conducted in 10 communities island-wide. According to Minister Stevenson, everyone has a role to play in preventing child abuse in all of its form, and that he believes that by educating persons on the issue, the reports will become fewer.
142 healthcare professionals, including medical doctors, hospital administrators, nurses, social workers, etc., received training during the period the 19th to the 23rd of August 2019. Another training workshop will take place in the month of October for 150 educators, including principals, counselors, and other senior officials. Thirdly, the division recognizes that parents play a vital role in their child's development. Parents are not only caretakers, but they are instrumental in the development of their children's social, emotional, cognitive, and physical well-being. As a result, the division has conducted parenting programs in 5 communities and schools. A total of 130 parents have benefited from this initiative.
At a conference hosted last month by the Psychology Department of the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, some disturbing statistics were revealed relating to rape and sexual abuse against children in the country. The statistics given were that for the year thus far, there were 47 new rape cases, with 40 of the victims under the age of 18 coming from 35 different communities across the country. In other news, SVG has established diplomatic ties with 3 new countries. A release from the Office of the Prime Minister today stated that the signing of the documents establishing diplomatic relations with these countries took place during the 74th session of the United Nations General Assembly at the headquarters of the UN in New York. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who is leading the local delegation at the session, represented SVG at the signing of these documents. The release said on Tuesday, September 24th, SVG established diplomatic relations with the Republic of San Marino, a microstate surrounded by north-central Italy. The signing of the agreement establishing diplomatic relations was done during a bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Gonsalves and the Foreign Minister of San Marino, Nicola Renzi. On Wednesday, September 25th, during a bilateral meeting between Prime Minister and the Ukrainian Foreign Minister, the agreement establishing a diplomatic relation with SVG and Ukraine was signed. Today, Thursday, September 26, the Kyrgyzstan became the third country to establish diplomatic relations with SVG. The joint communique establishing diplomatic relations was signed by Prime Minister Gonzalez on behalf of the country, while the Foreign Minister of Kyrgyzstan signed on behalf of his country. The Office of the Prime Minister said the establishment of diplomatic relations with these new countries is a testament of the principled and progressive foreign policy of the government that allows SVG to engage nations. A series of consultations on the implementation of the Caribbean single market and economy were held here over the last 3 days. The sessions, facilitated by representative of the CARICOM Secretariat, were held with various stakeholders, including representatives from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Commerce, the Regional Integration and Diaspora Unit, private sector and civil society, free movement committee, and key ministries, permanent secretaries, and heads of department. At a session yesterday, communication specialist at the CSME unit, Salas Hamilton, said the series of consultations will give the stakeholders the opportunity to learn more about the benefits of the CSME, as well as the many provisions in place and how they will be affected.
Yes. You as stakeholders, you would have heard about this regional integration platform, and it is only common sense that we regularly update stakeholders as to the new developments. The private sector and civil society are key beneficiaries under the CSME, and maybe that is why you are the first group to be engaged this week. As businesses and nationals of St. Vincent and the Grenadines move within CARICOM, it is to your advantage to know what the market has in place and how to operate therein. So this morning, we'll be looking at an update on the CSME regionally. The movement of goods, movement of skilled nationals, the extension of Article 164, contingent rights. What are contingent rights? What does that mean? The CARICOM complaints procedure. Is it in place? Is it working? And other aspects.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sandy Peters-Phillips, said regional integration is an important platform to re-engineer economic growth, and as such, SVG has been at the forefront in lobbying for regional integration.
And the Grenadines would have accomplished the following. One, we would have removed the discriminatory barriers affecting other CARICOM nationals who come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines as visitors to work or to live. Secondly, we would have put in place legal and administrative arrangements to facilitate integration into the CSME. Additionally, St. Vincent and the Grenadines recognizes that CARICOM is a very important mechanism for our survival and development, as it remains the main export market, accounting for approximately 90% of our goods export annually and approximately 25% of our import. B, an important source of employment for our citizens, including university graduates, nurses, construction workers, etc. Today's consultation with the private sector is a very important one, as it will seek to address the challenges identified in the 2018 consultations.
Peters-Phillips urged the stakeholders to interact with the facilitators to ensure that their concerns are addressed, noting that the participation of the private sector is crucial to the process and in building a more resilient economy.
The priorities is ensuring that the necessary legal and administrative requirements are in place in all member states of CARICOM nationals to benefit from the decision that is already made. Additionally, new decisions have been made to expand the areas in which nationals could benefit. Therefore, the ministry is committed to work together with its stakeholders to better facilitate the implementation of the CSME. However, we are especially relying on the cooperation and partnership of the private sector as we work to expand and build a more resilient and productive economy. These consultations and stakeholders meetings must not be taken slightly, as they are extremely important to advance the implementation of the CSME, and during the next 2 days, we will continue to exchange a wide cross-sections of stakeholders.
A tropical wave is expected to affect the islands later tonight into tomorrow. The Met Service said model guidance is indicated limited moisture and instability associated with this wave. It said on Saturday, Shareline will be in the vicinity generating a few showers across the region, and a weak ridge pattern will dominate on Sunday. However, an improvement in conditions is likely then. General winds, it said, are expected to blow from the east-northeast between 5 to 20 kilometers per hour, becoming calm on occasions. Slight sea conditions are forecast into the weekend, becoming moderate on the east coast around Sunday. The visually impaired are among some of the persons who have welcomed the new polymer notes which were placed on the market in July this year. In an interview with SVG-TV News, resident representative acting of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Anis Horn, said 4 of the 5 polymer notes are now in circulation, which include the 20, 50, 100 and most recently the $10 notes, and that persons seem to be pleased with them.
Sessions and interaction with several sectors, but they welcome this initiative. It's an excellent one. The mere fact, like I would have said before, that they are now a little more independent to be able to identify the notes, to be able to do their own counting, to be able to do their own, maybe when they're doing their transactions, they are able now to give maybe the exact money, or be able to not give away their monies, quote unquote. So that we had from the persons who are, like I said, challenged a little bit.
Hans said at first persons were mistaking the polymer notes for foreign notes. However, the issue seemed to be wearing off.
Would have been persons who thought the first time they would have seen a polymer note that maybe that's an English pound. However, the notes, like we say, the pound note, they are of different sizes. Our notes, polymer notes, are standard size. And so we just want to encourage persons to know that all of our notes, 100, 50, 20, 10, they are of all the same size. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank is written to the top. The new feature, one of the other features also, is that the notes are all signed by the new governor of the central bank.
Persons are being reminded that the paper notes can still be used for business transaction. However, Horn said, unlike the paper notes, the polymer notes are cleaner, safer, and cannot be duplicated.
If the polymer notes get tumbled in the dryer, would it still be a legal tender? Would it still be accepted? If a note gets in a dryer and it's tumbled, it really shouldn't damage the note. Should not. What about maybe a dryer? Now that is dependent, because the note is plastic, so that would depend on the heat, how much temperature. So those are some of the things that we need to pay attention to, but we all have polymer notes to stay in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The paper would co-circulate, but with time, as we move forward in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, like the other islands in the ECCU, we are going to all be using the new polymer notes.
The only polymer note yet to be put in circulation is the $5 note, which will be introduced in August 2020. With many persons here getting the opportunity this week to learn more about their dental health, They have also been advised about the importance of taking control of their financial health. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has been encouraging persons to sign up for their self-reliance classes designed to assist persons to get a better education to manage their finances and start their own business. At yesterday's dental health fair in Kingston, a representative from the church, Sister Jones, said the classes run for 12 weeks, 2 hours each week, and are free for persons of all ages.
Comprehensive, covers a lot of things. We're trying to help people to help take care of themselves so that they in turn can help serve others. It's free for everyone of all ages.
Right, and where would these classes take?
We have a class in Kingstown program, and one in Caliagua, and one in Georgetown.
And if someone wants to get in contact with you, how can they do so?
We have a Facebook page that is Self-reliance SVG, or you can call us at 532-8836.
With new cases of prostate and breast cancer recorded yearly, several cancer groups here in SVG are coming together to step up the awareness programs through a series of events next month, supported by the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment. At a media conference today, the CIBC Cancer Group representative, Jacinta Hines, said their annual fundraising walk will take place on October 12th.
Of the walk as well, which is a flagship of our CIBC parent company. It is a run for the walk that is held in Canada, and that was mirrored regionally. I also want to mention as well that the funds raised are used for early detection to also assist patients affected by the disease, and as well as equipment, maintenance of equipment, and counseling, not just to the patients, but to families as well.
The SVG Medical Association is another group that will be hosting a number of activities next month, which include a walkathon for breast cancer and tug-of-war event to highlight prostate cancer. The association's representative, Shannon Samuel, said that it is time that men become more aware of prostate cancer.
And that we raise this awareness because men generally don't like to go to the doctors, and there are certain parameters that they have to take so that they can protect themselves, just like we would like for women to protect themselves with breast cancer. All right, so for September, we have this tug of war this Saturday. We're very excited about that. We're inviting the public to come out to the Victoria Park. We're going to have barbecue and drinks, yes, and we want to raise the awareness. We want persons speaking out about prostate cancer. We want men to feel comfortable and in the zone where they feel like they need to check themselves as well.
Communication Officer of the Ministry of Health, Nika Anderson, said prostate and breast cancer are the most popular form of cancers in the country. She said the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment fully supports the local cancer groups with their awareness and fundraising activities.
About the leading cause, unfortunately, prostate cancer has even surpassed breast cancer, so that is the lead, and breast cancer is right behind it. So we see the importance of these organizations not just focusing on breast, but taking on prostate under the banner, as it is #1 in terms of cancer in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to be specific.